Hey there, my name's Luke and welcome to the video. You see, I have not been able to read this book. My mom gave this to me when I was very, very young, when I was 18 or so. And I'm 22 now. I've never even opened to this. I figure I don't need to read a book to be a man. I'll figure it out on my own. But I've been flipping through my books lately, and I keep seeing this. It's got fun pictures in it, but it looks like it's got some stuff that I would really like to learn in a very concise book. I'm looking at all the other books I got, and they're like 500 pages, 750 pages, 1,000, and it's like, whoa. Like, if I'm supposed to find enlightenment, I'm going to need a little bit of a shorter book first. I'll read the longer books later, but I need like something to jumpstart me here. So might as well do a quick little fun book. Oh my gosh, my nose. Oh, one sec. Alright. But I figured, what can I not get copyright claimed? I figured a book about life advice would probably be semi-safe. I was thinking about reading one of my teen novels, Starters, by Lisa Price, but then I figured that's going to be copyrighted. It's a fantasy sci-fi book. It's for children, and I'm not a child anymore. Might be fun to read on my own, but I might need to find some more mature books for this. I like rereading books. I like rewatching movies. I like replaying games. I like rewatching TV shows. Nostalgia, I guess. Loneliness, I guess. But, I feel like this book is going to be good for me. Now, this does say the 6 most important decisions that a teen will ever make. Well, the 6 most important decisions you'll ever make, and then it says teen, and it says this is very much for teens, but screw it. I'm 22, that still counts. I'm young. This is by Covey, and if you ever want to read this book yourself, I suggest you go buy it. It was $16.99 at the time. I'm assuming that's changed. And it is classified as a self-help book. I cannot read. This will be very good for me. So let's get started. I don't know how I'm going to split this up. Once I run out of ability to speak, I guess I'll just kind of pause there. The 6 big ones. The choice is yours. Call me Sean. I'm the author and I'm glad you're here. Don't worry. This won't be another boring book. This one's different. It's written for teens and deals with your life, your problems, your stuff. It also has a lot of great cartoons. I had to hire several artists to pay for them. A fortune because I can't draw worth squat. This book is about one idea. I'll get straight to the point. There are 6 key decisions you'll make during your teen years that can make or break your future. So choose wisely. Don't blow it. If you do happen to blow it, however, it's not the end of the world. Just get back on track quickly and start making better choices. Being a teen today is tougher than ever. While your grandparents may have had to walk uphill to school in the snow, you have a different set of challenges to navigate. Like media overload, party drugs, internet porn, date rape, terrorism, global competition, depression, heavy peer pressure. It's a totally different world. Although I will still shoot spitwads, I'm no longer a teen, but I vividly remember the ups and downs I went through. Most of my problems began at birth. My dad said, Sean, when you were born, your cheeks were so fat the doctor didn't know which end to spank. He wasn't kidding. You should see my baby pictures. My cheeks hung off my face like water balloons. You can imagine how often I was teased. Once I was playing with the neighborhood kids, jumping on our trampoline, and we were playing a game of add-on, and it was my turn. Susan, my neighbor, couldn't resist saying that what everyone was thinking. Man, look at Sean's bouncing cheeks, they're so fat. David, my younger brother, in an effort to defend me, said they're not fat, they're muscle. His valiant effort backfired, and everyone got a kick out of my new nickname, Muscle Cheeks. Dang. My problems continued into junior high school. I hated 7th grade, oh my gosh, I cannot read. And have chosen to forget most of it. I do remember that I still had fat cheeks as an 8th grader. And there was one named Scott that kept trying to pick a fight with me. I don't know why he picked on me. I never met the guy. Maybe it was because he was confident he could pound me. He'd wait in the hallway with a couple of his friends and challenge me to fight every day after my algebra class. I was petrified and tried to stay away from him. One day he cornered me. "Hey, Covey, you big fat sissy, why don't you fight me?" "I don't know." Then he slugged me in the stomach real hard, knocking my breath out. I was too scared to fight back. He left me alone after that, but I was humiliated and felt like a loser. By the way, I'm bigger than Scott now, and I'm still looking for him. Kidding. As I began high school, to my pleasant surprise, my face grew into my cheeks. But a new set of problems arose. Suddenly, I had a lot of important decisions I wasn't ready for. During the first week, I was invited to join a club with seniors who drank a lot. I didn't want to join, but I also didn't want to offend them. I started to make new friends, and there were these new girls. One even started to like me. She was pretty and aggressive, and it was exciting and scary all at once. I had so many questions. Should I like this girl? Who should I hang out with? What classes should I take? Should I go to that party? How can I juggle school, sports, and friends? I didn't realize it at the time, but these were some of the most important decisions I'd ever make in my life. The idea for this book started when I sent out surveys to hundreds of teens from all over and asked, "What are your biggest challenges?" And here's what a few of them said. Stress. Trying to fit everything in my number one is, oh my gosh, I'm dyslexic. Okay. Stress. Trying to fit everything in is my number one challenge because I have a lot on my plate. This guy's not using commas. Okay? That ain't on me. Alright? I know how to read. Parents. I have to deal with them every day and it's exhausting. School and grades. My mom screams at me. Dealing with sexuality. I have to be able to make the right choices now, so I don't have to live with my mistakes later. It seems like if you're not having sex when you're a teenager, you're a prude or something. Preparing for college. It's right around the corner and I haven't really given it much thought. Every time I try to think about it, I end up just getting a huge headache, so I don't. Divorce of my parents. They always fight over who gets visitation. High school drama. Who's going out with who? Popularity. Best hair. Most athletic. Who's got money? Who said this about them? It's ridiculous. Money. Barely enough money to live. Peer pressure is a major problem. I give in real easy with the right people. Friends. They are just bugging the heck out of me. I don't relate to them anymore. They ignore me and stay in their little cliques. I feel excluded so lately that I'm in just staying away from them. Body and appearance. I struggle with my weight all the time. Dating. I don't date whatsoever, and I am 17 now. My friends dog me and make me feel like I'm not doing something I should. I worry about the safety of my family because you can walk the streets and get killed. Most people are not going to school just to do drugs. I fear for my little brother and sister. Dang, that got emotional. I carefully studied all of the surveys and I got back. I also interviewed numerous teens from various locations over a 3-year period, and a pattern began to emerge. Out of the 999 different challenges that were mentioned, 6 stood out above the rest. As I looked deeper, I discovered that each challenge there was a choice or a series of choices to be made. Some teens I interviewed had made smart choices, others dumb ones. As a result, some were happy and some messed up. These challenges represented a fork in the road decisions, and the consequences were huge. It became clear that what you do about these challenges are the 6 most important decisions you'll ever make as a teen. And I do have to say, for school, it is so hard. Because here's the thing, when I did dual enrollment at the age of 16, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have time to make a decision. I had no life experience. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I had to start. I had to start dual enrollment. I had to start doing college classes and high school classes. I had to start making decisions that would change the future of my college career and my life. And we can always get into that in another video. But that's the struggle nowadays, is that you don't have time anymore. You're not even an adult and you have to start adulting. These kids are growing up so much faster. I bet when my kids are grown up, they'll be freshman year of high school and they'll have to start making critical life decisions. And not just dating and addiction or whatever. I'm talking about life decisions about college when they're a freshman in high school. It's inevitable. It's inevitable that the second that you step foot into high school, you have to start planning college. You don't get to wait until junior year. No, you got to figure it out from freshman year. You got to start doing college classes in freshman year. It's inevitable. We're going to start preparing people a lot faster. The 6 most important decisions you'll ever make. School. What are you going to do about your education? Friends. What type of friends will you choose and what kind of friend will you be? Parents. Are you going to get along with your parents? Dating and sex. Who will you date and what will you do about sex? Addictions. What will you do about smoking, drinking, drugs, and other addictive stuff? Self-worth. Will you choose to like yourself? You may not have thought much about these decisions, or you may be struggling with one of them or all of them. Whatever your situation, you need to learn about all that you can about each decision, the ins and outs, the good and the bad, so that you can make informed decisions with your eyes wide open. You don't want to get down the road and find yourself saying, "If only I'd known better." Many decisions you make as a teen can impact your life forever. In his book, Standing for Something, religious leader Gordon B. Hinckley tells a story about when he was young. While working in a Denver railroad office, I was in charge of the baggage and express traffic carried in passenger trains. One day, I received a call from my counterpart in New Jersey who said that a passenger train had arrived without its baggage car. 300 patrons were angry, as well as they had a right to be. We discovered that the train had traveled from Oakland, California to St. Louis, where a switchman had mistakenly moved a piece of steel just 3 inches. That piece of steel was a switch point, and the baggage cart that should have been in Newark was now in New Orleans, 1,400 miles away. Prisons all over the world are filled with people who made unwise and even destructive choices. Individuals who moved a switch point in their lives just a little and were soon on the wrong track, going to the wrong place. Each of these 6 decisions is like a switch point, a small 3-inch piece of steel that will lead us down the right or wrong track for hundreds of miles. Wow. That's strong right there. That's powerful. I think that's better. The Tale of Two Teens. Imagine 2 19-year-old girls about to graduate from teenagehood. At age 13, they were in similar situations. At 19, they're in very different places because of their choices. Meet Allie. She smiles a lot. She is attending a local university and has 2 great roommates. They have a riot together, and Allie has a tuition scholarship and also works part-time as a teacher's assistant. She plans to graduate in 2 years with a degree in English and become a teacher. Allie is dating 2 different guys right now, but isn't really serious with either yet. Throughout her teen years, she didn't date much and felt a little insecure about it. But she's proud that she didn't sleep around with every other guy. She hopes to meet a wonderful guy and get married someday. 2 different guys? Okay, whatever. At 15, Allie tried drugs once, but afterward realized how stupid it was. Since then, except for an occasional glass of wine, Allie doesn't drink, smoke, or do drugs. She's free of addictions. Every Sunday night, Allie calls her mom, whom she calls her best friend. And although she has problems, overall she is confident, goal-driven, and happy with herself. Meet Desiree. Desiree is strikingly beautiful, but suffers from low self-esteem. When asked why, she replies, "I don't know. It's just, that's what I'm thinking. I'm fat and ugly." Desiree started smoking when she was 14 and smokes 2 packs a day now. She claims she could quit tomorrow. That isn't the case. She also works part-time or full-time at a grocery store, making minimum wage. Although she completed high school, she never really tried in school and doesn't see a need to get more education. She lives in an apartment by herself and has various live-in boyfriends. During high school, she fooled around with a lot of guys and was involved in many abusive relationships. "I always seem to pick losers," she says. Desiree doesn't have much of a relationship with her parents. She has little contact with any of her best friends from high school. She doesn't know what she wants to do with her future and often gets depressed. 2 girls, 2 totally different outcomes. Why? Because of their choices. Can you begin to see why making smart choices about school, friends, parents, dating, sex, addictions, and self-esteem is so huge? the 10-year experiment. Before going any further, try this little experiment. Your job is to introduce yourself to someone as you were exactly 10 years ago today, and tell them a few things about yourself. If your name is Jeremy and you're 17, you would say something like, "Hi, my name is Jeremy, I'm 7. I live in Toronto, Canada, with my parents and my younger brother, who is 4. I just finished first grade. I have a goldfish named Spot, and I love to color and play soccer. I feel happy inside." If you're reading this book and you're near someone, try this experiment with them. Tell them it's part of a book assignment so they don't think you're going crazy. Very well. The date 10 years ago today would have been when I was... Whoa, hang on. Whoa, I'm smarter than this. 12? Does that make sense? Okay. When I was 12, I don't have the exact dates in, but I remember when I was a kid, I played soccer. I did karate. I play video games, watch movies, TV shows, just like I do now. Go outside, hang out with my friends, play Nerf guns, play hide and seek. My parents would try to take me out on play dates. And me and my mom, we always used to go into Barnes and Noble every Sunday. And afterwards, go to Chick-fil-A. And it was routine. I really miss those days. I lived in Orlando at the time. And I lived with both of my parents, our dog Diva, and our dog Maddie. I felt alone sometimes, even as a kid, when none of my friends were out and about, when I was by myself as an only child. I felt lonely. I had a great way of figuring out how to entertain myself. I'm very good at that now. I'm very good at entertaining others. But at the end of the day, I was lonely. I still am. "10 years in the future." We've done 10 years in the past. What is the future? Okay. I got one. 10 years from now, I'm 32 years old. 32. I'll be newlywed. We've been married for 3 years. Maybe 4. We have 2 kids together. An older boy to look over his little sister. They're young. They're only a couple years old. We wanted to wait until marriage before having kids. I've gotten better in my career, and we're starting to find a new place to live. I've had a great financial stability with my current house, but now with my new career and promotion that just came up, we need to expand the house. We want to have a little bit more land, have a couple more rooms, a little bit more space to live in a better house. And my current promotion allows me to do so. We have to make room. Because as my career has grown, I realize that 2 kids isn't enough for me. I want 2 more. And she feels the same way. Our marriage is happy. It always has been. We argue just like any couple would, but we resolve those conflicts well. Our conflict resolution skills are better than anyone else I know. Our sense of humor lines up like we're practically twins. We make each other laugh all the time. And no matter how much or how little she talks, I love her. I love spending time with her. I love giving her space, and I'm secure in that. She doesn't have to text me throughout the day. Just tell me she's at work, when she's at home, that she's safe, that she misses me and it's been a long day, that she made dinner for me, that I made dinner for her. My parents are doing well. Their garden has grown. They have a new dog. They've been going out on trips recently since I've been out of the house. They've been traveling all over the country in their new travel trailer. My dad got a new boat, and he's considering buying a little piece of land off the coast. He's been fixing up a couple things, but he's starting to get older. He's starting to have to hire people, for physical labor. I'm surrounded by friends that aren't just coworkers, that are friends from old places I've been to, from all walks of life, maybe from church, maybe from on the street. I've made friends in all these different situations I've been in, and I have a real support group around me, and I continue to make friends all around me all the time. I love my kids. I'd do anything for them. And the void that's been in my heart for years has faded away into nothingness. The only thing that remains is that protective emotion to protect my wife, to protect my kids. And everything else that was hateful is gone. I'm happy now. That's my 10 years in the future. What's yours? You just practiced time travel. When you went back 10 years, what memories surfaced? You a good sport? Were you in a good spot or a bad one? What about your future? I know who I want to come. It's not about money. It's about family. And it's about your capacity to support that family. The good news is, where you end up in 10 years from now is up to you. You're free to choose what you want to make of your life. It's called free agency or free will, and it's your birthright. What's more is you can turn it on instantly. At any moment, you can choose to start showing more respect for yourself, or stop hanging out with friends who bring you down. Ultimately, you choose to be happy or miserable. The reality is that although you are free to choose, you can't choose the consequences of your choices. They're preloaded. It's a package deal. As the old saying goes, if you pick up one end of the stick, you pick up the other. The choice of consequence go together like mashed potatoes and gravy. For example, if you decide to do poorly in school and not go to college, you'll suffer the natural consequences of finding it hard to even get an interview for a high-paying job. Likewise, if you date intelligently and avoid casual intimacy, you'll enjoy the consequences of having a good reputation and not worrying about STDs and pregnancy. I'm going to take a pause here and just say, I am an idiot, and you should not follow in my footsteps. Be cool, wrap your tool. Don't spend any time with anyone that doesn't like you. If they just want something physical, that doesn't mean they like you. It means they like your body physically. They like your skill set physically. But emotionally and mentally, does this person give any consideration to you? Do they worry about you? Do they want to know what's going on in your life? Are they doing anyone else in their life? That's the thing. And if any of those questions come into play, you might need to consider something else. The word decision comes from the Latin root meaning to cut off from. Saying yes to one thing means no to another. That's why decisions can be so hard sometimes. You're always better off making a decision once and being done with it, instead of making it again and again. For example, as a teen, I decided I wasn't going to smoke or drink or do drugs. Now I'm not making myself out to be a hero, because I made a lot of mistakes as a teen, as I'll show you later. But I did do this one thing right. So I avoided parties where everyone got plastered. I chose not to hang out with guys who do drugs. I never felt peer pressure to do this stuff because I'd already made up my mind once and didn't have to keep making that decision over and over. Some might say that I missed out on a lot of fun. Maybe so. To me, it gave me freedom. Freedom from getting stoned and doing something stupid. Freedom from drunk driving offense. Freedom from forming an addiction. That is true. A quick overview. There are different ways in which you can read this book. You can read it from start to finish, probably the best way. You can skip around and go to the chapters that you are interested in the most. If you're really lazy, just look at the cartoons. Here's a quick overview of the chapters. School. I'm totally stressed out. Of all of your challenges, school ranks number 1. Why? It's the stress. As one teen put it, school. People put pressure on students that school is everything, and it stresses me out. You have to deal with the gossip and the grades and teachers and tests and labels and lunch ladies. You have to cope with parents who actually expect you to try your best in school, for crying out loud. On top of that, you have to worry about preparing to get a real job someday. Why is what you choose about education such a big decision? Probably because what you do about it will open doors of opportunity or slam them shut for a very long time. In the chapter on school, we'll hit many important topics, like how dropping out of school wrecks your money-making potential, finding motivation when you have none, the 7 secrets to getting good grades, rising above a learning disability, preparing and paying for college, finding your voice. We're not talking choir here. We're talking about discovering what you're good at. Some teens find it easy to make good friends. For many, though, it's a struggle. we don't fit in. We're judged because we don't have a perfect body or wear the right clothes. It's especially hard when your family has to move and suddenly you're the new kid at school trying to break into established cliques. Many of us have had times when we've not had any friends at all. Or we've had such a great need to be accepted, we become friends with anyone willing to accept us, even if they bring us down. And then there's all the drama. It is the weirdest thing, but every girl I've spoken to tells me any two girls will get along just fine, but three never works. Us guys have a different set of challenges, like punching each other and dating each other's girlfriends. Who you choose as friends and the kind of friend you choose is a big decision. In this chapter, we'll talk about lots of interesting stuff, such as surviving the popularity game, what to do when you don't have any friends, being the kind of friend you like to have, surviving the cat fights, what you need to know about gangs, standing up to peer pressure. I think we'll do the chapter overview and then we'll take a pause. This is a very good book. We have 320 pages. We're about 11 in. Parents. How embarrassing. My mom is okay. She tries to understand me. But it's like the more she tries, the more she annoys me. And then my dad is just crazy. And I just can't relate to them at all. This is Sabrina. She's pretty normal. She loves her parents but can't figure them out half the time. Part of the problem with parents is how we see them. When I was in grade school, my parents were cool. When I turned 13, they morphed into nerds and became so embarrassing. Suddenly they forgot how to dress, talk, or walk upright. I'll never forget the time in 8th grade when I was on the sidelines during a football game and I felt a tap on my shoulder. Hey Sean, it's me, Dad, doing you and your buddies one apiece. I was shocked. There stood my dad on the sidelines, where he wasn't supposed to be, with a 16-inch pizza, during the middle of my football game, asking me if I wanted a piece of freaking pizza. I was horrified, and in front of all my teammates, I denied that I even knew him. But trust me, when you get a little older, you'll find that your parents will instantly mature and become cool again, and your friends will start saying things like, "Dude, your mom is awesome." The quality of the relationship you want to have with your mom and dad is a choice, and it's one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. In this chapter, we'll discuss many vital issues, including how to build an awesome relationship with your mom and dad, disarming your parents in one line or less, 4 magical expressions to use with your parents to work every time, surviving a divorce, coping with the "why can't you be like your brother" syndrome, what to do when your parents are really messed up and you have to raise them. This book is hitting. I mean, this is for teens, but this is seemingly hitting on all aspects of my life right now. Career, parents, friends, relationships. That's pretty much everything. Dating and sex. Do we have to talk about this? I wish we didn't have to talk about it, but we do. If we didn't, I'd be irresponsible. Because it's one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Perhaps the most important. Parents, if you're secretly reading your teen's book right now to see what I have to say about this topic, just relax and trust me. I won't botch it. When I was a boy, my parents never talked about the birds and the bees. My dad would turn red in the face if he even thought about it. So I learned all about it from the neighborhood boys that were in the know. But times have changed, and you'd better get real clear on what kind of people you're going to date and what you're going to do about sex. If you don't, someone else will make the decision for you, and you don't want that. In this chapter, we'll get into stuff like dating intelligently, so you don't date, so what? The problem with centering your life on a girlfriend or boyfriend, spotting the red flags in a relationship, what are STDs and why should I care? Debunking the 4 great myths about teens and sex. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff here. All right, let's finish up. Addictions. It's not hard to quit. I've done it a dozen times. I admit it. I picked up an addiction in high school to nachos. I couldn't get enough of them. I couldn't watch a movie without nachos. I couldn't pass a 7-Eleven without getting my nacho fix. I'm still hooked. I've never stopped to think about what goes into that greasy, cheesy stuff, but I'm sure it ain't cheese. I'm so lucky I didn't pick up any other addictions during my teens. I feel bad for a coworker who has to go outside every 2 hours in the rain or heat and have his smoke. I feel bad for a family friend who messed up his brain so bad from drugs he's just not in there anymore. Clearly, the decisions to make around this challenge often stick with you for life. Today, there's pressure to binge drink, smoke, do drugs, take steroids, sniff glue, do a number of other enticing things. As a couple of teens put it, a ton of people do it, so it's hard to stay away from it. I've stopped, but I still want it. You won't want to miss this section. Your peers have had some really good stories to share. We'll chat about the 3 brutal realities of addiction, the truth about alcohol, tobacco, meth, ecstasy, roids, cocaine, prescriptions, inhalants, and more, about marijuana, conquering an addiction, the drug of the 21st century, where to get great nachos. Okay, this guy's funny, I won't lie. If only I was better looking. Self-worth. One girl said, my biggest challenge is self-esteem. There are too many beautiful people. I feel ugly. If you ever feel this way, you're not alone. Compared to the models we see plastered on Cosmo and GQ, we all feel ugly. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look your best. But if your self-confidence or lack of it comes from how you stack up on the good looks gauge, you've got some serious problems. The fact is, there are a lot of kids with big noses and dorky clothes that are full of self-confidence. And there are loads of self-dressed, popular kids who have no self-confidence at all. Obviously, there's so much more to healthy self-worth than beauty and biceps. When all is said and done, learning to like yourself is a choice. It may not seem that way, but it is. It's a matter of learning to get your security from within and not from without, or what from others say about you. This chapter will cover the one true mirror that you should always look to, why fixating on other people's opinions of you is stupid, character and competence, the foundation stones of healthy self-worth, what to do when you're depressed and can't pull out of it, developing your unique talents and skills, mining your own fields for diamonds. The 7 Habits Crash Course. They'll make or break you. In addition to a chapter on each one of these 6 decisions, there's a short chapter called the 7 Habits Crash Course. It's up next. A few years ago, I wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. If you've already read that book, the chapter will serve as a good review of the habits. If you haven't read it, the crash course will get you up to speed. It doesn't really matter in which order you read these books. It's sort of like the Star Wars movies. They all go together, but it doesn't really matter which one you watch first. In this book, we'll use the 7 habits as a toolkit to help you make these decisions. So, just what are the 7 habits of highly effective teens? Simply put, they are the habits that successful and happy teenagers from Africa to Alaska have in common. Don't leave home without them. Ready for tomorrow. My purpose in writing this book is simple. I want to help you make smart choices around each of the 6 decisions so that you can be happy and healthy one day. Ready for tomorrow in a future so bright that you'll have to wear shades. When you turn 20 and retire from being a teen, I want you to be able to say, I have a solid education. I have good friends that bring out the best in me. And I have good relationships with my parents. I don't have an STD, am not pregnant nor have gotten anyone pregnant, and have made smart choices about dating and sex. I'm addiction free. I like myself and I'm okay with who I am. Of course you'll make mistakes during your teen years. Face many struggles. Have many highs and lows. No one expects you to be perfect. But please don't make it harder than it has to be. By simply making smarter choices starting today, your teenage journey can be so much smoother. I like when the poet Robert Frost had to say about the importance of decisions. 2 roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that made all the difference. Oh, P.S. by the way, I encourage you to personalize your book. A teen named Carol said, I come from a book-oriented family. I've been reading since the age of 3, and writing anything in a book is a sin. I was raised this way too. But let's change that rule right now. The new rule is mark up your book. Get out your pen, your colored pencils, your highlighter, whatever to go to town. Scribble, doodle, have some fun with it. Write in the margins. Circle quotes you want to remember. Highlight stories that inspire you. Record insights as they come. You'll get a lot more out of this book if you make it your own. Up next, we'll talk about who this guy they call the man really is. If you're curious, keep reading. The 7 Habits Crash Course. That's where we're going to be pausing today. We're about 14 pages into 320. I think I was taking my time. I think this is going to ramp up in speed, but I wanted to take a pause so I can cook some breakfast and give you some time to relax and recuperate, and my phone to charge up. I think this book is going to be very inspiring. I think this book is going to give me a lot of insight. Of course, everything is common sense. Everything we know. Everything that, if you was to read every single word in this book to me, I would go, that makes sense. But until I've read it, I don't know it. I know of an idea. But the pure, full fleshed out thought is what I don't have yet. And that's why I need to read this. But anyways, That's everything for today. I hope you have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.